but in truth, certain versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping prices, with one particular piece recently being valued at an astonishing $623,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, minted back in 1985, is now worth more than $500,000. Before we jump into the market values and how to identify one of these rare coins, let's take a step back in time and understand what makes the 1985 Lincoln cent so unique. The 1985 penny belongs to the long and beloved Lincoln cent series, which first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side with the word Liberty to the left and the date to the right. For decades, it has been a symbol of American pride and tradition, a coin that almost every American has touched at some point in their lives. Now, when we talk about the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin, most people assume that it's just another common penny from the 80s. After all, millions upon millions of them were produced. However, within that massive number, a few rare varieties and minting errors slipped through the cracks, and that's where the real magic begins. These rare pieces can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream and a life-changing payday for the lucky person who finds one. The 1985 Lincoln cent was produced at two main facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia mark, while the Denver coin carries a small letter D just below the date. Though they may appear nearly identical, subtle differences in striking, composition, and die alignment can make all the difference between a 1-cent coin and a six-figure rarity. Back in 1982, the composition of the penny changed from 95% copper to a new copper-plated zinc formula, with only a thin layer of copper on top. But in 1985, a few leftover copper planchets from the earlier production years are believed to have been accidentally struck with the 1985 dies, creating a rare transitional error coin. If you hold one of these heavy copper coins in your hand, it feels just a bit slightly heavier than the regular zinc version. That tiny difference could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Collectors are always on the lookout for these transitional errors because they represent a rare moment in U.S. mint history, where old materials and new technology overlapped. In addition to the transitional error, there are also 1985 pennies that show double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes that add incredible value to what might otherwise be an everyday coin. One of the most famous examples recently made headlines when a near-perfect condition 1985 Lincoln cent with a full copper composition was verified by a top grading service and sold at auction for a record price of $623,000. That sale shocked collectors and renewed interest in 1980s pennies that many people had ignored for decades. So, what makes these coins worth such big money? The answer comes down to three main factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Rarity refers to how many of these coins actually exist. Condition refers to how well preserved the coin is, with top-graded examples showing full luster and sharp detail. Demand, on the other hand, depends on the interest and excitement among collectors. When all three factors come together, that's when prices soar beyond imagination. If you have a 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin sitting in your collection, the first thing to do is check its weight. A normal zinc penny from that year should weigh about 2.5 grams, while a copper version will weigh around 3.1 grams. That tiny difference might seem small, but it's the key to unlocking its true potential value. You can easily check the weight using a small digital scale, the kind often used for coins or jewelry. Next, inspect the coin carefully for any unusual features. Look for doubling on the letters, especially in the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself. A double die error can dramatically increase the value of your coin. Also, pay attention to the edges. If they appear thicker or uneven, you might be looking at an off-center strike. Even a small misalignment can raise the price significantly among collectors. For serious collectors, condition is everything. A coin that has never been in circulation and still has its original mint luster can be worth many times more than a worn example. That's why grading plays such an important role in determining a coin's market value. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC assign grades on a scale from 1 to 70, with a perfect mint state 70 being flawless. A 1985 Liberty 1 center coin graded at Mississippi 67 or higher can command a premium price, especially if it shows a rare error or copper composition. The market for rare coins has been booming in recent years, with collectors around the world willing to pay top dollar for unique and historic pieces. As inflation rises and traditional investments fluctuate, tangible assets like coins have become more attractive. The 1985 penny is a perfect example of how something so small and overlooked can suddenly become a treasure worth more than a luxury car or even a house. What's fascinating is that these valuable coins are still out there in circulation. Many people have no idea that a simple penny they toss into a jar or spend at a store could be worth thousands. That's why coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters always remind people to check their pocket change. You never know when you might come across one of these hidden gems. So, if you're new to coin collecting or just curious about the 1985 Liberty 1 cent coin, stay tuned because in this video we're going to break down exactly how to identify the rare ones, what to look for, how to get them appraised, and where you can sell them if you happen to strike gold, or in this case, copper. Before we move further, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We post new videos every week exploring rare coins, hidden treasures, and the amazing stories behind them. You don't want to miss what's coming next. In the upcoming sections, we'll also talk about how to preserve your coins to maintain their value over time. Improper cleaning or storage can actually reduce a coin's worth, so it's important to handle them with care. Always store valuable coins in protective holders and keep them away from moisture and heat. That little bit of attention can make all the difference in preserving your investment for future generations. As we continue, remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent coin serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest piece of history can carry a big story and an even bigger value. From its humble beginnings at the U.S. Mint to its rise as a collector's prize worth over $600,000, this coin captures the imagination of enthusiasts around the world. So grab your magnifying glass, pull out that old coin jar, and start checking your pennies. Because one of them might just change your life. Today we have an incredible story that is going to leave every coin collector and treasure hunter amazed. We are diving deep into the world of United States pennies, and not just any penny. We are talking about the 2000 Liberty 1 cent coin, a modern-day coin that has surprised experts and collectors around the world. You will be shocked to know that this small copper coin, something that most people would overlook or toss into a jar, has been found to be worth as much as $63,000 on today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could pay off a car, cover a year's tuition, or even help with a down payment on a home. So, get comfortable and stay tuned because we are going to explore everything about this coin. We will cover its origin, its design, the historical background behind the Liberty Penny series, and what makes the 2000 version so unique. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for in your own pocket change and how a single small detail could change a coin's value from 1 cent to tens of thousands of dollars. Let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln 1 cent coin has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this penny replaced the Indian head design that had been in circulation since the 1800s. The Lincoln penny was the first regular U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front of the coin shows Lincoln's profile facing right, with the word Liberty on one side and the motto "In God We Trust" across the top. For decades, the Lincoln penny has been struck in billions of pieces and used in everyday transactions, but throughout its history, there have been rare mint errors, small design variations, and special mint marks that turned ordinary pennies into treasures. Now, let's focus on the year 2000. The turn of the millennium was a symbolic and exciting time for the U.S. Mint. Millions of coins were produced in Philadelphia and Denver, as usual, with the D Mint mark standing for the Denver Mint located in Colorado. At first, 2000 Lincoln penny seems completely ordinary. It features the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side, which had been used since 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But within the massive production of that year, a few very rare examples were struck with slight variations that make them extremely valuable today. The 2000 Liberty 1-cent coin that collectors are chasing is known for its special die characteristics and near-perfect condition. Some examples display an incredibly sharp strike, full details on Lincoln's face and hair, and perfectly centered lettering. In other cases, minor errors like double dies or off-center strikes have made these coins even more collectible. But what truly skyrocketed the value of certain 2000 pennies is their pristine preservation and their certified grading. When a coin is graded mint state 68 or higher by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, its value can jump dramatically. In auctions, some of these top-quality coins have sold for over $60,000, but there is more to the story than condition alone. Let's talk about the materials. By 2000, the U.S. Mint had long switched from the original copper composition to a copper-plated zinc planchet. Since 1982, pennies have been made with only a thin copper coating, with the rest of the coin being mostly zinc. This makes them lighter and cheaper to produce, but also more prone to wear, corrosion, and plating problems. Occasionally, a few coins are accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets or show rare errors in the plating process. When such coins are discovered, they become highly sought after because they combine modern minting with historical metal content, and that can raise their value enormously. Collectors often ask, how can I tell if my 2000 penny is worth anything? The first step is to inspect the coin closely under good light or with a magnifying glass. Look at the word Liberty and the year 2000. Make sure the D mint mark is clearly visible under the year. Check the details of Lincoln's face and hair. A well-struck coin will show fine lines and crisp lettering. If your coin looks exceptionally sharp, uncirculated, and free of scratches, it may be worth submitting to a grading service. Coins that have never been used, known as mint state coins, are far more valuable than those that have been in circulation. It is also worth noting that some 2000 pennies were part of special collector sets released by the mint, which means they were handled carefully and preserved in pristine condition from the start. Those examples can often grade higher and reach premium values at auction. What's fascinating about the 2000 Liberty penny is that its value doesn't just come from rarity but also from the story it tells about modern coin production, attention to detail, and the unpredictability of the collector's market. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the broader history. The word Liberty has appeared on U.S. coins since the very beginning of the nation's minting history. It represents freedom, independence, and the spirit of America. On the Lincoln penny, the word Liberty is placed to the left of Lincoln's profile, symbolizing the ongoing pursuit of freedom. Even in the year 2000, that tradition continued. The simple yet powerful word Liberty, paired with the portrait of one of the most respected presidents in U.S. history, makes the coin a small piece of national identity that people handle every day without realizing its symbolic value. As coin collectors, we often say that history hides in plain sight, and the 2000 Liberty 1-cent coin is the perfect example of that. Think about it. Millions of these coins were minted, used, and forgotten, yet a handful have become worth more than luxury watches or rare stamps. That's what makes numismatics so exciting. It's the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that a rare gem could be sitting right in your loose change jar or tucked inside a roll of pennies from the bank. Let's talk about the market today. As of now, certified examples of the 2000 Liberty penny in the highest grades can sell anywhere between $10,000 and $63,000 depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Even coins in lower uncirculated grades can fetch hundreds of dollars if they have exceptional eye appeal. Auction houses and online marketplaces like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and eBay have seen steady interest in this coin as more people learn about its potential value. The market for modern-era coins and rare variations has grown dramatically in the last decade, fueled by social media and collector communities sharing their discoveries. If you're serious about finding one of these coins, here's a tip: check your old penny rolls, especially those from around the year 2000. Visit coin shows, talk to experienced collectors, and always keep your eyes open for the small details that others might miss. It's not just about luck, it's about knowledge, patience, and a bit of curiosity. Every great collector started with a simple find, And maybe your next discovery could be the legendary 2000D Liberty penny worth $63,000. So, as we wrap up this introduction, remember collecting isn't only about profit. It's about connecting with history, preserving craftsmanship, and appreciating the beauty in everyday objects. The 2000D Liberty warns us that even with digital payments and plastic cards, the humble penny still has stories to tell and surprises to offer. Stick around as we dive deeper into how this rare coin came to be, the exact features you should look for, and what current collectors and experts say about its future market potential. If you enjoy learning about rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our weekly videos. Next fortune should be hiding in your pocket change. Let's explore the mystery of the 2000D Liberty 1-cent coin, the penny that turned heads, made headlines, and proved that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest value. Well, coins collector everyone to another right here on the channel to the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and incredible discoveries that could be sitting right inside your pocket change. Today's story is one that's taking the coin collecting community by storm, a fascinating look at the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States of America. This little copper beauty might seem ordinary to most people, but in truth, certain versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping prices, a piece recently being valued at an astonishing $623,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, minted back in 1985, is now worth more than $500,000. Before we jump to the market